My friends, it's time. Boaterhome time. Everything is working pretty decent, and it's a nice, beautiful day. Perfect opportunity to test it out. So, all right, let's see what this bad bitch can do.
Tonight, a local YouTuber that goes by the name Heavydsparks was once again spotted with a very strange vehicle, but this time he wasn't hauling it. Just imagine you're at the lake with your 24-foot Malibu and this guy shows up. If that's not a confidence killer, I don't know what is.
I was getting pretty frustrated back there, but it's totally worth it now. Uh-oh! I think we just lost one motor. We better put this thing back on the freaking trailer. Diesel,
Yo.
you know where Sparks is?
No, he's probably off looking at pictures of Boaterhomes to see what he wants for this.
Hey Rob, do you know where Sparks is?
Pretty sure I saw him in the break room.
Okay.
Do it all by myself. Nice and easy. Never have to get wet. That's the great part. Been all over the country with my dad. Personally, I've taken it to California, Dumont Sand Dunes, camped in it there. Lake Havasu.
What are you doing?
Lake Powell, this is your...
What are you doing? Research. They're working on the Boaterhome out there. They already pulled it in? Yeah.
You started without me?
You know, this boat's been sitting in storage for like over 20 years now. And when something sits in storage, it's slowly falling apart. And the reason for that is because it's not receiving the things that it needs, like fresh fuel, fresh oil, fresh batteries. All those little maintenance items are a big deal because if you don't keep up on them, well, then you end up with this mess and you end up with a boat that doesn't want to start. The same thing's true with our bodies. Armor Colostrum is the sponsor of today's video. And Armor Colostrum is something that every single one of us needs. I can almost guarantee you that you're gonna thank me after you try it. Armor Colostrum is a bioactive whole food with 400 plus super nutritional ingredients. I've been taking it for about 6 months now. Here's what I've noticed. Better energy, better skin and hair health, better sleep, better gut health. So here's the thing. The barriers in our mucosal lining in our stomach regenerate every 2 weeks. Now those barriers are extremely important to our overall health and well-being because that's what kind of helps separate the good from the bad and allows the good nutrients in, keeps the bad stuff out, and Armor Colostrum does a really good job of supporting them. Armor Colostrum recommends that you take anywhere between 3 to 4 scoops with each serving. But since it's a bioactive whole food, you can up that number as much as you want until you feel comfortable. So we got the scoops in here, we got it frothed, and there you go, my friend.
That's actually surprisingly very delicious.
Let's test out the Chocolate Performance Revival. I freaking love this stuff. Guys, here's the deal. I got Armor Colostrum to hook you up. They're gonna give you 15% off your first order when you click the link in my description below and go to tryarmor.com/HeavyD. Immediate 15% discount, or use the code HeavyD on their website, and boom, you're in. Try it out. I have a feeling that if you're anything like me or that guy, you're gonna really like the results. So give it a shot now, and thank you, Armor, for sponsoring the video. My friends, we are back on the Boaterhome. First video, we picked it up, got it here to the shop, obsessed over it for, well, basically still obsessing over it. And now we are all hands on deck to get this thing rocking and rolling. In the last video, I talked about possibly getting rid of this old Dodge van and swapping it for something newer, which would be awesome. It'd be way more functional, but we would lose all of the sex appeal. All of the classic, nostalgic vibe would go out the window. So it'd become a different machine. It'd still be cool, but it wouldn't have that retro feel, which is kind of what we want, and obviously you guys want. So believe it or not, we listen to you. When you drop comments on YouTube, and when I ask a question like, hey, do you guys think we should swap this to a new one or use the old one? And you guys all respond saying, keep the freaking old one. Well, that's what we do because we're here for you, which is why today we're gonna see just what condition this bad boy's really in. Keep in mind, we've got I think 4 engines on this thing that we have to go through today. We got the main motor in the van, we got 2 stern drive motors in the back for the boat, and then I believe there's a small generator on board the boat that has a little motor as well. So we're gonna just try to start them all, see if this motor even spins over freely or whether it's locked up. And the goal is to get this thing on the water as soon as possible. If we can get it even just kind of running today, then we may take it up to the lake tomorrow, just because really I want to see what those motors on the boat are capable of and if they're worth keeping, or whether we need to look at swapping over some outboards or something like that, while I go back and work on the back. The team here are going to be working on this front motor. Pull the carb off, clean it up, squirt some fuel in there, throw some batteries in it, and see what it does. If you come back here and look, Look at the other side.
Keys for this?
Keys?
Sorry, I didn't mean to steal away from you.
Side quest right now.
Yeah, I really. Alan was helping me pull it in just now, and he goes, "Why do I see a recovery in our future?" And I said, "What are you talking about, Al?" Al thinks that we're gonna go to the lake tomorrow. It's gonna unload and go straight to the bottom. Yeah, those are them. Yeah.
This is for the other one, I think.
Check this out. Listen to this kitty purr. Sounds like it's gonna start.
Yeah, sounds really good. Let's get working on the boat motors and get some air in these tires if we can.
I knew it. I knew that was gonna happen.
These things, according to the old owner and according to the dash, only have like a couple hundred hours on them, which is really low for a boat this old. They've also been stored somewhat decently. You can see that the previous owner took the time to put plastic over the intake, which I am very grateful for because that keeps water and bugs and all kinds of stuff out of the engines. So they got all your worm clamps here. Those are from the hoses that they took off for the winterization. If we get this thing out and it ends up being just like an absolute good time, we may repower it. My goal is for this thing to do 70 miles an hour. It's pretty fast for a boat. I think it's doable. First thing I got to do is check for the fluids, just oil, make sure we got fuel, make sure we got power, and then we can crank on them and see what they do. Unfortunately, the ignition keys are nowhere to be found, so luckily it's just a boat ignition, so it's very simple. In the meantime, I'm going to get the batteries charging and go that route. Just dripping sweat. Anytime I eat or do kind of anything, my body just goes into, all right, let's burn all this, whatever it is mode. So I sweat more than the average person. It's kind of frustrating, which is why I always wear cutoff shirts. Is that my Jeep?
Yeah.
I'm having the guys up at AMW 4x4. They're like leaders in Jeep performance pretty much in the world. They're putting a 1,025 horsepower Demon engine in my Jeep Gladiator. It's been a hell of a project, been going for a little while now, but they're getting close to being done. And that was the first video I've seen of it assembled and running. And I should be picking that up here at the end of the month. It's gonna be one of the wildest Jeeps you've ever seen. The oil looks really clean. Batteries are relatively new. They actually have a good charge in them. It like almost doesn't smell in here. Oh, hell yeah, they left the boombox in here. Get that thing out of here. That's like a full-blown shoulder boombox.
Here comes Shaq right now.
Bro, the FX95 with digital effects. One of our guys is at AutoZone right now. He's gonna see if he can find just a universal ignition key. I'm gonna see what the fuel situation is. So we gotta figure out where the tanks are, get them pumped out. Even fiberglass boats have a lot of wood in them, in the framing and the molding of the hull. All this stuff is gonna have to be replaced. Like all the upholstery panels, that's all old wood, completely crumbled and no good anymore. So that's gonna be basically the entire boat. I got good news. Well, I had good news. You see, in these two bags, there was a bunch of different clamps and parts and pieces that were taken off when the boat was winterized. That means like the coolant lines, drain plugs, a bunch of miscellaneous stuff they pull out so the motors don't freeze when the water is stuck in them. I had found all of the hoses, but now I found an extra hose without a clamp. So I can get a clamp for it, but that just makes me wonder, did I put a clamp in the wrong place? Because there was the right amount for each engine. I think it should be fine, but we'll see. Basically all the engines hooked up to where they're supposed to go. Dave has almost got the ignition keys in. I'm gonna check the fuel tank, just make sure it's got something in it, and potentially see if we can suck out what little fuel is in there, put some fresh fuel in, and these bad boys should fire right up. Hands, 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 hands. Does he have headphones in? Hands! Have them point it our way. We got power to both motors now. Had a loose connection down there on the starter, but I found it. So Dave's gonna finish putting the keys in, check the fuel, crank these bad boys up. All right, so we ran into a little bit of an issue. I got the camera, I'll show you. So this right here is our fuel sending unit, and as you can see, she's pretty rotted out, and inside the tank is pretty damn nasty. And the only way to get in there, since there's no access cover anywhere that I can find, I'm gonna cut a hole right here. I've never seen a fiberglass fuel tank before. Wooden tank with fiberglass top and bottom. It's kind of sticky. Oh, I chose the worst possible bag to do that with. Ugh. That's not good. That clogs up fuel pumps in a hurry.
70s fuel. It's got a good essence to it.
Fuel mixed with fiberglass.
Pumping? Yeah, you're good.
That's what happens when you drink a lot of cherry coke.
No, that's orange juice.
Those of you who have worked on boats before, you already know this, but for those of you who don't, anytime you want to work on a boat and do a water test, you obviously either need to take it to the lake or take the lake to it, which is what we're doing right now. On the side of the motor here, you see these rubber cups. Those are hooked to a garden hose. We turn the hose on. This is the intake for the motor. So that's going to suck the water in through the stern drive up into the engine. Without these, if we started the motor right now, we could destroy the impeller because it'd be running dry and the motors would overheat within, a couple of minutes. We turn this on, it's going to leak water out here, but that means water circulating through the engine, and that's a good sign. If we don't see water coming out, that means it's leaking somewhere in the boat. It's not a good sign. Try again. No. The other side didn't do anything. There we go. Do the starboard side again. Come on. Do it again. Okay, yep, hold on. Turn that key off. Come on, baby. Hey, so actually you come.
That real starting fluid works a lot better. Not starting fluid from 1976.
That is our old fuel pickup. It's copper tubing that went down in the tank. I don't think it had a pump on it because I don't see any. Sometimes there's submerged pumps in the tanks. I did not see any sort of pump. I've seen stuff like this kind of coming out, which resembles what could have been a pump maybe, but this also could have just been like the fuel sending unit.
I'm thinking stuck needle valve in the float bowl.
We can pour fuel in this side, can't we?
No, that's just the main throttle. The bowl is right in here, and there's no, on this model, there's no easy way to get it in.
Talking about.
We got a lot done today. We realized that we need a new carburetor for the van, and since it's not a Dodge, the carburetor from the other van doesn't work because that actually has a Dodge motor, and it makes sense because we needed the front wheel drive setup out of the Oldsmobile Tornado. So we're gonna find a carburetor for that tomorrow, get these carbs rebuilt, get new fuel lines, figure out a fuel tank. We'll be able to take it to the lake and test it out.
We got the carburetors rebuilt on the boat motors, and the boat motors are running good. We got the motor on the van running perfectly. We're just waiting on a brake cylinder because it might be nice to stop. That means all we need is some new tires and do a little house cleaning. Because guess who's going to the lake tomorrow for the first time in 20 years? Yes!
It's gonna be a rocket with these two motors. Like, it should be pretty aggressively fast. Got 520 horse.
Put some new shoes on the Boaterhome, bro. In order to drive it to the lake, we want it to be able to drive in style. Everything you could ever want in a Boaterhome tire.
It's time to test out the Boaterhome. We've got all the mechanical stuff pretty much sorted out. It's all just kind of temporary stuff because this engine's probably gonna go away. This van still might go away. I know you guys wanna keep it. I wanna keep it. It's just not in great shape. But right now, the plan is we're gonna pull it out and see if everything engages, transmission, brakes, steering, all that stuff. And if it works well enough that we feel like we can launch it, then we're gonna take it up to the lake and put it in and see what happens. We're probably gonna have to trailer it to the lake or tow it because I don't think this thing's ready to go very far, especially not with this heat. It's burning up out there right now and it's overheating just kind of sitting here in the garage. This will be the first time this thing's driven in what, 20 years?
20 years.
That's a lot of sitting around doing nothing. It's out of fuel. I mean, it's got a lot going for it, but it also has a lot stacked against it, such as sitting for 20 years, being a 1975 or 76. So the fact that it made it that far is honestly kind of great. Now it doesn't want to start. All right, test drive's not going very well. Can't tell if it's not getting fuel or if it's flooded. It started. Ooh, we should probably get a fire extinguisher. Come on, baby. Nope. Well.
I actually got one out, but I put it in the service truck.
How did it die? It was working so well. Oh, classic vehicles are full of fun surprises. Get all excited, throw a bunch of TLC at it, a bunch of new parts, time, money, and then it's always something dumb, like the fuel tank's probably full of mice. We didn't check the fuel tank on the van. We thoroughly rinsed the fuel tank on the boat. For some reason, this didn't get really looked at. I guess technically we weren't really planning on going further than kind of like around the parking lot at the shop, but it was running so well that I was like, we'll take her for a rip, and it was running great. Temperature was coming down, steering, brakes, all that was working, acceleration was decent. It's not all bad. I just want to get this boat in the water, and it would be so much easier to just put this boat on like one of our other boat trailers and haul it with one of our other pickups. But then it's not a Boaterhome. Then it's just a regular kind of weird looking boat.
Tomorrow we're gonna flush the tank, get it running again, tow it up to the lake, because just like we tested this van, we gotta test the boat and see if it floats. The boat floats and the van runs, then we'll throw some more money at it. The boat don't float and the van don't run, I'm gonna have to really sell Dave on throwing some more money at it. Some more money at it. Money. Dave. Stuttering, it's so hot out here.
It made it, but I can't lie to you, we towed it. We pulled it with the wrecker and we unloaded. It's just simply because, remember, the van is still very much in kind of its R&D phase, trying to figure out what it needs. It drove great. We unloaded it and drove it about 3 miles around the dam, and the whole goal here is to be able to let it use its own power to launch the boat. Still getting a little bit warm, probably needs a bunch of cooling system work. This is going to be the total first test of the boat. We've started at the shop and that's about it. If we can figure out how to get this stupid chain undone, it's all rusted on there and has been on there for 20 years.
You see, this guy's just a little taut. We only got that little bit of turn, and then it binds up again, like it doesn't want to turn anymore.
What's happening now?
Seems to be having some issues.
Now all these brakes have right there. We're really doing it, Harry. Need me to go more?
Hold on, let me see. Did we bring starting fluid? There should be some in here, hopefully.
I heard something turn on, but I don't know if it's this one. poor little thing. Tranny's just not doing it. The engine and tranny just doesn't got enough oomph.
So we gotta take it out, see why the engines aren't starting.
Hold on. Now
it needs to be rebuilt again. The needle valve assembly.
Idle for a second.
All right, let's put that on. Let's put it back in the water, see if it does as well.
The motors are running, fans are running, chain is cut. We're ready to dip it back in the water and go float around for a bit. That's what dreams are made of right there. I didn't even have to get wet. Yeah, turns out if you don't unbolt it from this, it doesn't come off the trailer. Have you ever seen anything more magnificent than a Boaterhome in its natural element? It's working, Dave!
This thing.
The dreams are made of right there. Are you docking, sir, or are you just...
Jump on. Worth it. I was getting pretty frustrated back there, but it's totally worth it now. One of the most unique boats I've ever driven in my life. It feels so weird being inside here, and this doesn't really feel like the front of a vehicle. Just literally kind of feels like I'm cruising around in my grandparents' living room. We're gonna do a quick systems check on the oils and all that kind of stuff. One of the gauges is reading kind of low oil pressure, but it should be all right.
Turns out we had there's 3 connecting points. We had 2 of them off. That one was holding on for dear life. It actually pulled the van into the water. Not sure if you guys noticed, but I was kind of submerged. We turned the van into a submarine.
Nate, will you pass me my water bottle?
No, it's still in back in the other truck.
All right, see what this bad can do. Alan!
Uh-oh. I think we just lost one motor.
Yeah.
One motor down.
Yeah. I think it's seized.
Seized?
Sounded like it.
Yeah, we got smoke. It's, yeah.
Should we start a GoFundMe for the Boaterhome?
Alright, we better put this thing back on my freaking trailer.
That's going to be fun in on itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, try to keep up with us, John. Getting way further, guys.
Pretty awesome.
Way better than I thought it was going to be.
I'm pretty sure port side motor might be on its way out. It's making some funny noises, running really rough. Got a good oil pressure, temperatures are fine, but it's doing this noise. That squeaking you hear is usually when like bearings start going out on the crankshaft. That motor might be toast, but now we know that, I mean, this thing rips. For not having ran in 20 years and not having tuned the props or the carbs, or really, I mean, we cleaned the carbs and rebuilt them, but we haven't done any actual tuning. It seems to be running great regardless. It doesn't really mind.
Now there's a boat right behind you.
You have to excuse our friend. It's his first time.
Well, as you can see, the Boaterhome floats really well. It actually runs and drives pretty great, other than one engine I'm pretty sure is about to blow up. And the interior is falling apart, just literally just crumbling apart, all the old wood in there. The van, I don't even get me started on the van. That thing is obviously hooked to the wrecker for a reason. But I'm trying to listen to you guys. You guys asked me to keep the original Dodge van. So we're gonna continue to fight it as long as we possibly can. If it gets to the point where it's just like we have to completely replace it, then I'll try to find a replacement of the similar era. But if I can't, then we gotta go to something different. The fact of the matter is that was one of the most enjoyable times I've ever spent on the lake. And it was honestly kind of a lot of work and a lot of chaos, but the fact that this thing floated and drove around made up for it. It drives unlike anything I've ever seen. So drop your comments below. Should we repower it with a couple of like bigger, like 350, 400 horsepower outboards? Do we do the same inboards and try to just rebuild these, do bigger ones? If anybody's an expert on like mid-70s Dodge vans like this, let me know. If you have like a brand new one sitting around that we can cut up, that would be even better. Now we got to get this thing back to the shop and figure out what's next.